Well, guys, grab your blade, because it's time to rank the Conan movies. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one today. I'm the Movie Ranker, and today I'm ranking all three Conan movies from worst to best. I'll just get this out of the way. None of these are good adaptations of the source material, of the original stories and comics. So I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to rank these on how much I enjoy them and whatnot from worst to best. Make sure you drop your ranking of all three films down in the comments section. We'll have a great discussion. Let's not waste any more time. Let's rank them. So kicking things off in last place at number 3, I had to go with Conan the Barbarian from 2011, the remake. Much prefer the 80s film to this one. This one's R-rated, but it doesn't really feel like it. It's not gritty enough. It's not dark enough. It's perfectly watchable. I mean, it's not a terrible flick or anything like that. And if you have no connection to this franchise, you could watch this and have a good time, I feel. I'm just not a big fan of Jason Momoa playing Conan. I mean, this was very early in his career, the same year he did Game of Thrones, so no one really knew who he was at the time. And I just feel like he doesn't bring enough charisma or personality to the character. It just feels so stale and, like I said, generic. And that's the problem I have with this whole film. Everybody's pretty generic. The villain, played by Stephen Lang, I feel like he elevates the character a bit because, again, very wooden type characters, not much to them, but Stephen Lang does make for a decent villain anyway. I mean, Ron Perlman, Rachel Nichols is very easy on the eyes. I think everybody is pretty serviceable in here. It's just Conan himself. I felt like there wasn't enough to him. And on top of that, they make him like super strong right off the bat. I mean, as a little kid, he's not like super muscle bound or nothing, but yet he's running in the woods taking out warriors, fully adult warriors who's been trained. And it's just like, man, even Arnold in the 80s movies, he had a, he wasn't fighting as a little kid, and he was put into slavery, and through his pain and his training, because he was trained to fight as well, he grew strong and, crazy and everything. And this movie just gives him that right away. There's no real arc here or journey, I feel, for this character, aside from his revenge plot line. Then we also got the main villain's daughter, who has like these sharp fingered things she puts on, trying to be like a cheap ass Freddy Krueger or something. I wasn't a fan of her. Played by Rose McGowan. She does a decent job. I'm just not a fan of the character. She's this witch. And yeah, it's cool to see magic in this world and witches and everything, but there's a certain action scene where she just creates these like sand people to fight Conan, which is okay, but it lasts for like 5 minutes straight, and I don't want a 5-minute long battle with digital creatures. I mean, I don't find myself invested in the fight scenes like that, so that's unfortunate. There is some gore in here and some blood, but there's like this weird tint on the whole movie which makes it look darker for some reason, and again, it just makes the movie look ugly. I just feel like Jason Momoa probably shouldn't have been casted here. He had the size, but he just lacked the charisma, and he wasn't meant to be a lead at this point in his career. I would be interested to see him return into something like this, where he is now with his experience and everything, but it just didn't work in this film. And I just wish his character was written a bit better, more interesting. Like, the old Conan movies didn't have this super in-depth writing for Conan, but still, you feel like you knew the character. Here, I feel like I watched the movie and I still don't know anything about this character. Like, I know the things he's been through, but I don't really know his personality or whatnot, so I just hated that about this film. And on top of that, like I said, it's super generic. It's an R-rated film, but it feels like it's geared towards teens, so I can see how some people can find enjoyment out of this. I mean, the person I watched this with had a real good time with it. They gave it like a 7 out of 10. As for me, not the case. Up next, at number 2, I'm going with Conan The Destroyer. This was actually a first-time watch for me. I've only seen the original before going into this, and rewatching the original in these films, this one's okay, but you can definitely feel like it's watered down. This being a PG film, which is crazy, the first film being rated R, and really bloody and everything. This one you can definitely notice it feels like it's geared towards kids at times, and then other times you're like, the tone's all over the place. Sometimes it feels mature, sometimes it feels immature. You got some really weird plot lines in here. I don't mind Conan's team in this one, or his companions that go with him on his journey. But they're kind of useless. I mean, they do nothing the entire film. It could have been just Conan and the niece, the girl he has to bring to get the key. Could have been just them two, and it wouldn't have changed any scenes whatsoever. Conan's doing all the work basically in this flick. Of course, the queen sent her friggin' henchman or whatever, bodyguard, so that he could finish off Conan once the mission was done, but obviously that doesn't work out. But yeah, everybody just feels so useless in here. Some of the action scenes are still pretty good though, even though they're not as bloody as before. We still get some fun sword battles and stuff like that. Conan still kicking ass, still punching horses in the face. He even takes out a camel in this one, where he like knocks down on a camel. It's so ridiculous and something you would never see today. It's definitely a product of its time, but it's definitely entertaining for what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of all the added humor in here though, especially from the thief that hangs out with Conan. He's with him at the starting of the film. I just feel like every line he gives is supposed to be funny, or it's supposed to be like, "Are you sure? Can I stay and watch the horses?" And they're like, "Come on." He's like, "Just kidding." And it's like stuff like that. It's like, it just doesn't work in the film. Like I said, the tone's all over the place. That just makes it feel childish, along with a lot of the PG stuff. And it just feels weird when we got other scenes where he's just like, cutting people up. The effects are pretty wild in here too. Like, the digital effects are pretty bad in both the first and the second movie. But again, product of his time, is not used too much, so I don't fault the movie too much on that. But when they go to that like castle where that wizard is, and they have to fight him in an illusion room with all the mirrors, that scene was just so lame and way too silly for me. Especially the creature, he was like part human and weird face. Obviously it was the wizard who created him as an illusion or whatever. But yeah, it was just terrible, man. I hated that scene in the movie. It was just dumb. And at the end, we get this main creature at the end with the horn and everything. Still looks kind of silly, but I don't know, I like that one much better. It was much cooler looking than that abomination halfway through the movie. And I heard the last creature was played by Andre the Giant. I don't know if that's true or not, but definitely an interesting fact if it is. So yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of this movie, but I think it's okay. I just think it's just a little too silly. I think the niece, the main girl in here, is kind of annoying. She like complains a lot and stuff and tries to take charge, but Conan's not having it, so yeah, like I said, it's an okay film, definitely flawed, but we still get Arnold back here. He's still bringing it in regards to his character. We still get some decent action in here, so I think that's enough to save this movie from being a fail. But for me, easily coming in the first place in this ranking is the original Conan the Barbarian from 1982. Love this movie, man. I didn't know how much I loved it till I rewatched it. I always liked it, but on this last rewatch, I'm like, damn, this is fun. Still a bit silly at times, but for the most part, it's much more gritty and violent than the rest of these films. I mean, I love when he's fighting people and just chopping people up, cutting off heads, blood's flying like every time he cuts into someone or someone gets hit with an arrow, you see the blood squirt out. It is awesome. I absolutely love it, especially being the horror fan that I am. There's some effects in regards to like the snake and stuff. Obviously, it looks very fake. But again, when they're cutting it up, blood's flying. So that just adds a bit more for me to make it like less lame. It's actually not too bad and kind of still entertaining when at least they're adding in blood and stuff coming out of these puppets. And I just love Conan's journey, his arc throughout this film, how he was a kid, his village got raided, dad dies, mother gets friggin' decapitated. Pretty crazy stuff. And yeah, he's not fighting as a kid. He's not fighting them on and killing them all. No, because he's just a scrawny little kid, right? No, it's after he goes into slavery and gets forced to do that wheel thing for like 20 years, grows into a beast, becomes a fighter for money and like from his slave owner. eventually winning enough money for his owner that he becomes free, and then he gets to go on his own mission looking for the people who destroyed his family and his village as a kid. And on top of that, I love the mythology of this world, like with his religion and everything, how his god is Crom, and the secret of steel and all that, which is missing from the remake. It just makes me so much more invested into this world. I want to learn more about it. I want to go read the comics and everything after this, even though, like I said, not a faithful adaptation, but at least it makes me interested in the world. I also love Conan's companions in this, especially his woman, Valeria. I think she's great. She's freaking awesome. I like how she can kick ass too, and how she's willing to give her life for Conan, which is what she does with the whole wizard stuff and bring Conan back to life, which is great. His wizard friend is awesome. Love him. So great casting all around. Great characters. They're all unique. They all stand out. And they all kick ass and have a part in this story. They're not just there for the ride. And of course, the main villain played by James Earl Jones is so cool, so interesting. How he's like a shapeshifter, like a, I don't know, some type of demigod or something, but he can turn into a snake and everything, which is really cool. And of course, they're like a snake cult. I love how he uses snakes as arrows. That's pretty badass and different. All the fantasy elements are really well done in this, and so are the sorcery and the blade. All that stuff is awesome as well in regards to the action. Like I said, it's bloody, it's mystifying. I just think that the film handles the world building, the mythology, the action, the characters, everything. They handle it the best in this film out of this franchise easily. I mean, there's no contest really. Even the score is epic. And I mean, this movie made Arnold the star he is today. This was his first big role, and I'm so grateful and happy he got this, because he had a great career after this with a ton of movies I love to watch, and this is his first great film. So Conan the Barbarian comes in the first place in my ranking. So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking of all 3 Conan movies. Hope you enjoyed it. Not exactly my genre that I'm really diving into all that often, but I do really love this original film. I think it's one of the better fantasy, sword and sandal type films, whatever you call this genre. I just really love it. So let me know how you guys rank these 3 films down in the comments. Do you like them all? Do you hate them all? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So drop that in the comments. Like me on Letterboxd and Instagram. Follow me, like me. I'm really screwing up today. The heat's getting to my brain. Like and subscribe to the channel while you follow me on my social medias. And that's all I got for you guys today. I will return soon. Until next time, thanks for watching.